Hi Pisces, this is your February 2015 horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com, where you can find out your ascendant sign. Make sure you check not only your sun sign, but your ascendant sign, which is astrologically will give you further details and make the picture more fuller. And that's what will differentiate you from any other Pisces that check the horoscope. The ascendant sign prediction will put different nuances on you. And you can find out your ascendant sign only by knowing your exact time of birth within at least 5-10 minutes. And you can find it at this link. And yes, once you get it, just go to the planetary detail table and you'll see it there. Or if you need any questions answered personally by me, you can contact me on astrolada.com. I do personal readings. Or if you have, and usually it's a waiting list sometimes of a week. But if you want immediate answers, I have psychics that I personally guarantee for. Psychics and astrologers, some of them are much better than me and much better at predicting as well because they have 20-30 years of prediction. I get my horoscopes done with the astrologers on my website as well. Even we astrologers need horoscopes. But anyway, what does February bring for you, Pisces? Whoa, you have the two planets of passion and desire and love, Mars and Venus in your sign in Pisces. So it makes you much more desirable now. Whether it's your ascendant or your sun, there's something in the air about you now till around the 20th of February. It gives you a sparkle, it makes you more sexually attractive, it makes you more magnetic, you have a right amount of initiative and animal charge and aggression, in a sense, animal magnetism, and the right charge of smooth, charming Venusian energy, sensual energy, the right amounts of sexual and sensual energy. So you're not too pushy, but you're also not too passive and receptive. So you have a bit of both. And this is when I think like there is like sparkle in the air, both Mars and Venus in your sign, Pisces. And it doesn't mean that the whole February you'll feel like that, but certainly a few days in a row you'll feel like, first of all, more energized, because Mars energizes you once every 2.5 years for about a month and a half. Mars is in your sign, Pisces. So it tells you you have more energy now. It tells you you have more conflict as well, because Mars is conflict, but thankfully Venus being there can balance it out. So you argue and then you smooth it out. You argue, Venus smooths it out. So hopefully it's not going to be a roller coaster like that, but there might be a few moments where you get a bit more argumentative, for people step on your toes, but you manage to resolve it also diplomatically because Venus is also there. And right now as well, it's good, it's advisable, it's much better for you to do some physical activity, to do some physical exercise, because Mars can generate this energy a lot. And if you don't want to grow into a certain, quarrel that you regret about when Mars is in your sign, you want to be more physically active to disperse this gathering, energy or aggravation. For example, I just had Mars transit my first house this month, so I'm a month behind you. And for about a week, I had a lot of angry emails and like downright abusive emails for nothing I've done wrong. It's just, or even if I've done wrong, it's not nice to get it. So this is like Mars transiting my first house is happening. And I was just answering my emails while walking on my treadmill, because otherwise I was going to answer horribly back to the people because they were attacking me for silly things like my accent and things like that. But, people can confront you for different reasons when Mars is in your first house, and you become very assertive. You don't sit back. You don't like, oh, okay, I'm going to be too goody shoes, Mrs. Pisces, no, this time you're going to get it, you stepped on my toes, and so I didn't want to react like that, so I was just walking on my treadmill and answering my emails at the same time. So this kind of helped, some physical outlet. And it's a great time because I also started working out. well, for the first time in years, you know. So Mars, when Mars is in your first house, it's great time of the year. It's great time of in your life, basically now in January and February, to be working out, to start some physical routine. It doesn't have to be something too strenuous. Like you can just go for 20 minutes walk every day and make it a habit. But Mars gives you the energy to do this. And Venus there also makes sure that it's also pleasant, because Venus is the planet of pleasure, of what we enjoy. So it's not only an effort that you have to do, but it's pleasurable. And Mars can also crop up certain problems that you have to deal with, certain things that stress you, that raise up your adrenaline level. But thankfully, again, you have more charm and diplomacy to deal with them. And but at the same time, Mars and Venus can both make you more sexy, more attractive, can help you lose weight, Mars in particular. And but also Mars and Venus can attract to you relationships, because Venus is relationships. They're in your sign. They come to you. People come to you, you know. And you're initiative enough and responsive enough to open up. If you're single, it's great time for relationship or for romance or for some kind of pleasurable or passionate experiences. So these are the two most important things that are happening. They're mostly good. Sometimes just Mars makes you angry, but if you're trying, if you need extra energy, Mars can help you. And then to prepare, and then when the Sun goes into your sign from the last 10 days of February, it's brilliant because you can start new beginnings in your life. You can start, you know, basically setting the trends for the next 12 months when your birthday starts coming, or when the Sun is in your ascendant sign, and you have much more say in what is happening. But I think that in February you also have much more say, because Mars, the planet of action, is in your sign. But it feels like the first 20 days events are more passionate, more not so much directed through the intelligence. They are much more directed through the instinct, because Mars and Venus are two instinctual planets, and you have more power to affect changes or to affect the environment around you through such instinctive, through such more almost like animalistic power of attraction and repulsion, while and emotionalism, you know, and passions are in the air. But the Sun is in your 12th house, so intelligent action is not fully. The Sun and Mercury, both intelligent planets. Mercury is the rational brain. The Sun is the overall intelligence, the bright light that illuminates us, gives us clarity. So both those intelligent planets are not instinctual like Venus and Mars in your 12th house, where they're weak. 12th house is the house of endings in the first 20 days of February. So it's kind of, you know, taking with your intelligence, intelligently what you're doing is taking stock of the past 12 months. And now in February, the first 20 days, you are deciding what to leave from your life, what to leave behind, and what to welcome, and what new things to start doing once the Sun and Mercury both go into your first house. And this happens in the last 10 days of February and the big part of March. So any new big projects, any new big beginnings, it's fantastic time for you to do it in the last 10 days of February. And the first 20 days of February is best time to actually get rid of the old, is to actually think what is good for you to keep and what is good for you to let go of, and start clean on a clean sheet, and make your New Year's, prepare, like basically February, the last 10 days of February and March is the time when you make your New Year's resolutions, because this is when the Sun goes into your sign and starts a new cycle again, for new cycle for Pisces, 12-month cycle. So this is the time you have to be making your New Year's resolutions. So, you know, there is a lot of passion, a lot of eroticism and creativity for you in the first 20 days, and you're preparing the grounds in the last 10 days, in the first 20 days for, you know, for the next 12 months. And after that, when the Sun goes into Pisces from the 20th, you can start initiating these new beginnings. But any kind of activities which are connected to relationships are very auspicious in the first 20 days of February. Connected to socializing are very auspicious. Connecting to looking for your rights and asserting yourself in some way are very auspicious. Maybe some struggle or fight that's happening and you have the leading hand, you win in that game. But try and be also a bit more diplomatic. And perfect for any physical activities, physical working out or something like that. And I just want to give you some specific days. Those of you Pisces who have their moon or their ascendant from 2 till 6 degrees, basically it means that you are born, Pisces who are born mostly in February, from around the 21st to around the 25th, 26th of February, maybe a day or two before or after, you're having Saturn transit. And if you want to know what Saturn transit is, it's rare. It happens every 7 years, sometimes every 14 years. And it continues for a whole year. Starting now from February, very intense. March, May, April will be very intense. Then again October, September. So if you want to know what a Saturn transit is, it's a time for maturation, for taking on more responsibilities, for cutting off the dead wood. And basically relationships which are no longer happy or productive, or which are too much hard work, they get away from your life. Careers can get away from your life, or goals and projects which are unproductive, or which you are not fully dedicated and loyal to. People as well who are harmful to you, whom you are not fully, your path of life is not anymore with them, can fall away. So it's time of constriction, of trimming down, rather than expanding and letting down your hair. It's time of hard work, of perseverance. It's time of testing, of things slowing down, and the results of anything you're doing take much longer to see the results of that. It takes much more time. Probably from October, November onwards, you can see the results of your hard efforts. But now you'll be given more responsibilities, or you'll take on your own more responsibilities, because it's a period of maturation, period of growing up, and more responsibilities, but at the same time trim up the dead wood and the situations in life which are blocking you from further growth. That's why it can feel like a very painful period and process. But at the same time, I don't want to scare you too much, because Saturn makes you work hard, and it can give you very good results from working hard. At the end of the period, it can lay new foundations in your life. So thank you very much, Pisces. Just some of the February-born Pisces have it a bit more difficult, a bit more demanding. Maybe they're feeling a bit more down on themselves. But the rest, Pisces, it's wonderful. The energies are wonderful, and from the last 10 days, they can start the new cycle and start new beginnings. Thank you.